All right, Chiefs Kingdom, that one hurt. We fall to the Bills 28-21 in week 9, another regular season nail biter between these two powerhouses. But you know what's funny? The Bills always seem to get us in the regular season, don't they? And then come January, we all know how that script flips. So this one still gave us a lot to unpack, however. So let's get into what went right, what went wrong, and what this loss means to our Chiefs. Now, let's talk about some key moments. Final score in this game, Bills 28, Chiefs 21. Josh Allen was nearly flawless. He was 23 of 26 for 273 yards, one passing touchdown, two rushing scores. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, finished 15 of 34 15 of 34 for 250 yards and one pick, fighting through constant pressure all night long. Now, the Bills started hot. They built a two-score lead early and never fully let go. And Kansas City got down to the Buffalo 1 yard line right before halftime, but had to settle for a field goal instead. And that was a gut punch. The turning point, probably that failed red zone trip and some brutal third down numbers to the tune of 3 of 13. 3 of 13 on third down attempts, while Buffalo converted 7 of 12. Yeah, let that sink in if you didn't realize that. Now, the fight was there. This is what we did well. The 4th and 17th conversion from Mahomes to Rashee Rice, that's vintage Chiefs. Never say die. That was gorgeous. Now, Rashee Rice continues to be that guy. He's physical, clutch, and he's continually building chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. The defense gave us flashes. Not consistency, but they gave us flashes. There were a few big third down stops, especially in the second half, that kept hope alive. And of course, there were a couple of sacks from Sack Nation as well, but we'll get to the other part later. The second half energy was also very different from the first half. You could tell the team believed that they could steal it late. However, it was a little too late. Now, this is where some of the areas where we fell short. The offense never found that rhythm early. Protection broke down, and Mahomes didn't have much time to work through progressions. The red zone inefficiency killed us again, y'all. We can't be selling for 3 points when we're just inches away. We gotta find a way to score the points and not settle for field goals. Now, the defense let Josh Allen dictate the pace, especially with those tight ends. Dalton Kincaid went off for over 100 yards, y'all, and we just couldn't adjust fast enough for this. Third down execution and the penalties were killers on this night, and the self-inflicted stuff is what separates regular season wins from playoff dominance. Now, let's be real though. We've seen this movie before, haven't we? Buffalo throws their Super Bowl party in November, and then when January rolls around, Patrick Mahomes shuts the lights off. We've seen this before. Bills fans might get the regular season banner, but the Chiefs still own the postseason scoreboard, and that's why I'm not gonna worry too much at this point. But there's a little bit to be worried about. So let's talk about some key stats. Final score of this game was 28-21 Bills. Unlike my prediction for this game, which was supposed to be 30-20 Chiefs. So 28-21 Bills. Mahomes went 15 of 34 for 250 yards, one interception. Josh Allen, however, 23 of 26 for 273 yards, one touchdown, two rushing TDs. And third down conversions, we had a measly 3 of 13, while Buffalo had 7 of 12. And then Rashee Rice, a 29-yard clutch catch on 4th and 17th. It was 4th and 17. It was gorgeous, y'all. And then Dalton Kincaid for the Bills, 101 yards receiving. Let's talk a little stock up, stock down when it comes to players. Stock up, Rashee Rice. He continues to emerge as the most reliable wide receiver of our wide receiver core. Stock up, even though there were a few times where it was a little bit crazy there, I'd still say Chris Jones, steady interior pressure all night there. Stock down, our offensive line. Yeah. Josh Simmons can't come back soon enough, and I know we'll see him come off the bye week here, but he can't come back soon enough. Buffalo's D-line made us uncomfortable all game, and it was very apparent. Stock down, our red zone play calling, or just our play calling in general, lacked a lot of creativity, and we did not need to play that way against this Bills team. So, yeah, I know there's always talks about how Andy Reid tends to be a little bit more conservative and vanilla when it comes to play calling, especially with teams that we expect to see again later in the season. But this one, yeah, it was pretty bad all the way around. Now, my takeaways from this game, my final takeaways here, y'all, is that yes, this loss stings, but it's not the end of the story. The Bills played their Super Bowl tonight, y'all. We didn't. And the Chiefs need to clean up third downs and red zone play, but this team's still built for January football. We just got to get a few things right. And until the Bills can beat us when it matters the most, the AFC still runs through Kansas City. So, all right, Chiefs Kingdom, sound off in the comments below for me. What was the turning point for you? And be honest, are you worried at this point, or do you still believe that we flip the switch when the playoffs come around? I think as it stands, we're if playoffs started today, we are out of playoff contention. We'll talk about that more on an episode later this week, especially since we've got a bye week here, but we'll talk about that a little bit more and we'll dive into that deeper. But for now, if you're rolling with Mahomes in this squad, no matter what, I want you to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on my next episode. As always, loud and proud, go Chiefs.